How does one become the commissioner? I've followed the game. I just turned 30 in March. I've followed the game for almost 25 years. And it's always been something as a kid, a teen, an adult. How does somebody become a commissioner of an entire league?
Well, one, a fair amount of luck, I think, which is the case for a lot of things in life. But you just turned 30, so right when I turned 30 is when I started at the NBA. And being commissioner is actually my 6th job at the league. So I'm a long-time employee. I'm now in my early 60s, so I've been here a long time. I will say, just the point of luck, I was fortunate in that I came to work. My first job here was as David Stern's assistant. I was a lawyer working at a firm in New York, but I had grown up, as I said, an NBA fan. I didn't know much when I was a kid about the business of sports. There was no internet. You couldn't easily look up the NBA and understand what the jobs were. At a place like this, there was no book you could buy that explained a career path in professional sports. But I was fortunate in that I met David Stern and interviewed over several months. And he wanted, at that time, to hire a lawyer to work outside of the legal department to be his assistant. And at that time, Gary Bettman was still here, who's now the commissioner of the NHL, of course. And he was running the legal department, in fact, and ran some business units here as well. I was given that opportunity, and I took advantage of that opportunity and worked really hard over the years. And I said I was in multiple different jobs, you know, and last being deputy commissioner before I was commissioner. There's no lack of interest in sports, and I think and I should add that as opposed to when I was a kid, so many the great universities and colleges have sports majors now. Yeah. You can learn more about the business, marketing, sales, operations, all the different things that we do here. And so if it's something that somebody wants to do, there's a lot more ways to get your foot in the door. If you want to work in professional sports, whether you're a lawyer or an accountant or a salesperson or a doctor, you name it, all of those professions are encompassed in as part of a league.